We head to Comsol Volkswagen Challenge now for some great action with the Volkswagen Challenge drivers. Certainly one of the biggest fields we've got in this series, and looking forward to Class A, B and C, where they all go full out to take race wins and take those valuable championship points right from the word go. At the front end, Rory Atkinson and Valdi Mikes will be fighting for Class A. It's all about Darren Nathan and Nick Clark for B. And in the C's, keep an eye out on Graham Savage, Elke van Vletter and Zander Roos.
Well, Greg, it's nice to see Tasman Pepper has made the change to the Comsol VW Challenge. She'll be up towards the front, giving the guys a hard time. We'll see how she gets on.
Yeah, nice run here from Francois van Zyl in the mix at the back end of Class B. And certainly getting to grips with this car. It wasn't quite where he wanted it to be last year, but now with a bit of development, hopefully he'll be in the front and fighting hard. He is a championship contender, especially in his class, maybe not for overall. At the front end, though, the overall is certainly looking good at this stage. And in the hands of Valdi Mikes and, of course, Rory Atkinson fighting for first and second. Atkinson with the bit of the advantage at the moment, as we see Van Zyl sneaking through there on holiday. And on their tail comes Brad Hall. But further back, we start to see things getting sorted out in Class C. And I can tell you it's not going to be easy, especially when those kind of things happen right from the word go.
Oh, there we go, on board with Elke van Vletter, enjoying a great drive in Class C. Like we said, we'll be dusting with Graham Savage, so we'll see what happens in Class C. In fact, all the categories in this Comsol VW Challenge, very, very exciting to watch and going to be very, very close.
Look at that, Francois van Zyl up into fourth place. Brad Hall is on his tail now, looking to head down into turn number one. Everything she's got through one, hardly a lift there from Brad Hall. He's got the Hellman Titan machine absolutely dialed in. Atkinson trying to keep out Valdi Mikes. Mikes doing the same thing there on Tasman Pepper. Pepper is hassling the back end of Valdi Mikes. Not going to make it easy. Oh, little problems there. As you can see, getting out of shape. Oh, he's got left, right. I've got this. Maybe not. No. Well, that's why he's got the rookie tape on the back, and unfortunately, looks like Adrian Ball got it all wrong and parked next to his brother Grant. And Elna Cruiser also with some issues pulling into pit lane. But back at the front end, Valdi Mikes keeping out Tasman Pepper and Harry Potter. James Hurley just hasn't got the pace here this weekend in the starter pack company machine to get past Tasman Pepper. The Pepper Racing lady is going like a Boeing at this stage and trying to keep out a double champion in this category.
Tasman Pepper getting to grips with that car now and getting quicker and quicker early in the stage of the races. Walden Mikes was getting away, but it looks like she's starting to reel him in now, and his mirrors are full as we go on board here with DAINE Stewart making a pass, making one position. A little love tap, and thanks for that.
Yeah, Holiday Jr. give him the love tap and getting through, and he gets the reverse. Oh, thanks for coming. You tap me, I'm going to tap you back. Oh, that's kind of what happens here. A little bit of argy-bargy happening there. Speaking of argy-bargy, you got to brake at turn 5, otherwise you won't make that, Sean Cross. And that's why you ended up in the kiddie litter.
Nick Clark, he's leading out in Class B at this stage. So good to see him with a great drive, the reigning champion, and starting off the year nicely as well.
Valdi Mikes now pulled a little bit of a margin there on Tasman Pepper. Tasman Pepper has had to deal with Harry Potter, and unfortunately looks like it slowed them down ever so slightly. Rory Atkinson going to come to the line. Checkered flag will be waiting for him. He takes the first win here on the day, and Class A's victory ahead of Valdi Mikes and Tasman Pepper. Here's the B's.
Nick Clark going to take the win here, but under some pressure there, Darren Nathan had really closed the gap up on that final lap, so good to see nice dice up in the front.
Oh, nice dice at the front end of C. Savage going to take the victory there. You can see him just ahead. Oh, Zander Roos has come alongside the Bat Lady, and she wins second place by just the Volkswagen badge on the front of that Golf 1. Great driving.
So Rory Atkinson there, great drive to take the win ahead of Walden Mikes. Tasman Pepper in third place. James Hurley held on to fourth place. Ian Stevenson in fifth. Wayne Krause and Derek Smallberger.
Class B going to Nick Clark with Nathan right on his tail. Adrian Wood with a much improved drive for third. Senior beats out Van Zyl. Stuart Harris and Van Vletter the top 8.
And in Class C, Graham Savage with a great win. That big dice for second. Elke van Vletter in Zander Roos. Stewie Mack, Duncan Murray, John Johnson sixth place. Philip Cruiser in seventh.
We caught up with race 1 winner, Rory Atkinson.
Fantastic, man. Thanks to the Comsol racing team and Hop Racing. The car was just excellent this weekend. We had a great qualifying, and race 1 was just a textbook race for me, so I'm very happy.
Reigning champion taking the win in Class B, Nick Clark.
Competition's a little bit tougher this year, but had probably a really good race weekend. One of my best so far. It was great racing. Side by side through half the track. I mean, no touching. Oh, it was lovely stuff. But yeah, otherwise it's going to be a tough year. It's not going to be easy.
I think a lot of these guys and girls realize how tough this class is becoming. And with the improvements that are happening in the driver skills as well as the improvements in the cars, I think we're in for a great Comsol Volkswagen Challenge season.
Greg, no holds barred here in this racing. VW Comsol Challenge has become one of the most exciting formats to watch here at Zwartkops, and we're ready for race 2.
32 cars in action and heading down towards turn 1. The first group are Class A and B. They go together. Voldy getting the drop and heading into turn 1. Nick Clark also looks like he might have just got the advantage, sneaking up on the inside of Derek Smallberger in the Sabertech Beetle. And if he can put that Beetle between himself and Nathan, which I don't think he's been able to do. No, he hasn't. Nathan right on the bumper, and VTEC trailer on the back end of that machine as they came flying out of turn 2.
Well, we're at the back end of Class B here with Michael Harris, and a great onboard shots as you see him going through the gears, go through that very fast right-hand turn before they get on the brakes through Castrol Magnatech.
Big turnaround for racing there for Michael Harris, ex-Superbike rider and now involved in four-wheeled action. So a little bit of a change-up in terms of your race strategy and how you do the racecraft, but of course he's going to use the Superbike lines to his advantage if he can.
There's John Johnson, the 79, three-wheel action as they go up the hill, and a little more action as one of the cars there doesn't quite make the turn. That's Chris Dale.
Getting completely out of shape out of Castrol Magnatech. And at the top at Sassel, Sam Dale continues the fight, and he's fighting hard there with Murray, Duncan Murray putting pressure on. It's Polo versus Golf 1. Golf 1's at the front end of Class C, and incredible battle starting to rage there between Graham Savage, as we saw in race 1, Elke van Vletter, and this time Stuart Mack is there too.
Well, there we go, back to the front end of Class A, and Walter Meinke's holding off, but look at Tasman Pepper trying to make her way to the front. Rory Atkinson under massive pressure there after dominating race 1. Things not going his way.
Look at Atkinson under pressure there from the Campos Pepper Racing machine. Comsol Challenge and the Comsol car fighting for second place. Atkinson and Pepper absolutely side by side. Tasman Pepper won't be worried about this at all. She's used to fighting a lot closer than that in the NGen Volkswagen Cup, so she'll be used to getting that close. And the proximity between these cars is incredible, because here comes Hurley. It's going to be three-way battle, and they're going to go 3x3 into turn 5 up to Sassel Corner. Tasman's got the braking line, and look at that! Hurley goes up the inside. What a great opportunistic drive there from Hurley.
We know how fast Rory Atkinson is up at this part of the track. This is where he was making the gaps in race 1. This time around, though, he's got cars on the race line, so he's having to do some evasive driving. This is on board with Francois Van Zyl. Van
Zyl having to go defensive here, because on his tail he's got Jacques Smith, Dane Stewart, Holiday Senior, Holiday Junior. It's a 5-car battle, and all of them all within about half a second of each other. So incredible stuff there in the mid-pack of Class B. At the front end is a change of lead as the Nathan's Motorsport machine of Darren Nathan hits the front ahead of Nick Clark. Brad Hall sitting comfortably here in 4th place, waiting for a mistake from one of those 3 up the road.
Well, Nick Clark did mention that it was going to be a tough season, and Darren Nathan, the driver that's really made a big jump in pace, and I think he wants a championship here.
There's no doubt about that. He's worked hard in the last couple of seasons. Michael Harris having a great run, I've got to say, and slowly but surely getting to grips with things. He's on the back end of the Batman, who of course is a champion in this category. Here's Mrs. doing a great job here for second place, but can't find a way through on Savage. Graham Savage just working double time to keep out those other 2 Golf 1s of Van Vletter, and on the roof, whoa, all out of shape. Duncan Murray, that's not where you want to end up, dude.
Well, red flag is out, and we don't often see that, so we're going to take the results there. Waldy Meinke's with the win ahead of Rory Atkinson, who came back past Tasman Pepper, James Hurley in 4th, and Ian Stevenson in 5th place.
Great drive from Class A. Class B was all about Nathan at the end, beating Nick Clark and Adrian Wood, who was right on their tail. Brad Hall, Van Zyl, Smith, Stewart, and Holiday Senior, the top 8.
In Class C, Graham Savage held on for the win under big pressure from Elke van Vletter. Stewie Mack in 3rd place, Sander Rus, Sean Kraus, John Johnson, Sam Dale, and then Duncan Murray.
Yes, incredibly, even though he was on his roof, he was still classified and brought back a lap because of that. Voldy Meinke's, though, our race 2 winner.
No, I just bumped in a consistent lap, so great. Thank you to Lee Thompson and his team, who's actually sorted out my car, Pepper Racing, and all the sponsors of the series. It's great to have these guys here.
Second winner in Class B went to Darren Nathan.
And for one of the laps, Nick and I were right next to each other from turn 4 all the way to turn 8. And I managed to bring it home. Thank God for the red flag, because it probably would have gone down to the wire.
Class C was all about Graham Savage today.
Was quite a good dogfight with Elke. She really can pedal. Race 2 started on pole and put my head down and stayed in pole.